Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode, and probably the last episode of GGS Case 5. At last. We have already finished the trial, and we are now heading into the post-trial part of this game, and we are going to continue into this until we are done. Even if this goes over, whatever, we are pretty much finishing this up in this video. So, it is the same day, 5:24 p.m., Old Bailey in the defendant's lobby. I guess this about wraps everything up. Come to think of it, I don't see Iris-chan anywhere. Oh, congratulations, Gino-san. It was just as I expected. I knew you were innocent. You really did believe in me until the very end. You're a nutter. But I said again and again that I would. Well, I mean, this is the very first time that someone has actually kept a promise they made to me until the very end. Gina-san. I finally understand. Until now, I've made it out on the streets by not trusting anyone. But that was only because the thought of trusting someone and being betrayed scared me. The more I trusted, the more it hurt to the point that I couldn't pick myself up again afterwards. I think I understand what you mean. I experienced that feeling after that trial 2 months ago. I was betrayed by someone I was supposed to be able to trust, and it hurt like I'd been physically stabbed. But I learned something too. To trust someone is to trust yourself. When you realize you've put your faith in the right people, there's nothing happier. Oh. It was thanks to you that I remember that. Really? I don't really get it. I'm really glad I trusted you. Cut it out! But I might have felt the same, just a little. Like maybe it would be okay to try trusting someone. Oh, this whole scene! Gina-san.
Here's what I think, Naruhodō. A defense attorney's worth is defined by how deeply they're able to trust their client. And how deeply they're able to trust themselves.
I feel like I can finally understand now what you were talking about, Asogi. I wonder if I'm getting just a little closer to becoming the defense attorney you envisioned. By the way, Sherlock! Are you two planning on noticing me anytime soon? That voice. Don't that voice me, Mr. Naruhodō. I've been waiting in the corner like this with bated breath the whole time. Wahaha! It was me all along, folks! That's how I'd been planning to make my reappearance. Sherlock! But you didn't even see me! I like how the bailiff the other bailiff is actually looking this way too! Holmes! Wahaha! It was me all along, folks! Why are you still here? Weren't you supposed to return to the hospital? Yeah, and I did, but I snuck out again. Oh my god. Of course you would. Eh? You see, I managed to get a hold of 2 or 3 of the hospital director's weaknesses. When I alluded to those, he gladly gave me a discharge form. That was really reckless. Well, never mind that. Well done, Mr. Naruhodō. You held strong to the very end, didn't you? As a friend, allow me to congratulate you. Thank you very much. Huh. Honestly, you famous detectives are a cold lot, aren't you? What do you mean? You've got a lot of nerve taking a leisurely nap in a hospital bed while other people are in serious trouble. I guess you're right. I lost quite a lot of blood thanks to a certain bullet, see? So maybe I'm colder than usual. Especially my fingertips. Here, feel them. Don't you think so? Would you please stop pressing them against the back of my neck, Home-san? Well, I suppose I owe you a congratulations as well. What the hell? Why did you say that so reluctantly? Well, think about it. I don't mean to scare you or anything, but I just wonder what would happen to you being found not guilty in one of that prosecutor's trials That's all. He's trying as hard as he can to scare her. You mean that Grim Reaper bloke? They say all the defendants found not guilty in his trials end up dying anyway. Please don't die, Gina. Right! That's what I meant! He did that manga doll in too, you see? Don't misunderstand. Naturally, I don't put any stock in such rumors. Neither do I. Not a lick. Oh? 'Cause think about it. The Grim Reaper is a god, right? Yeah, I guess. He's basically death. And if he's a god, then he's probably always keeping an eye on things. And I'm sure he always has been. There are bad guys out there like Mangadol who try to escape their crimes. God takes out guys like that. Yeah, you might be right. But even so, there's no excuse for taking someone's life. I disagree. That's why I'm going to go straight from here on out. That's good then. That's Miss Gina for you. What's that supposed to mean? Oh right, I haven't told you yet, have I? I'm glad you were proven innocent. My sincere congratulations, Miss Gina. You don't have to... Ah! Homesy! When did you get here? Honestly, and I went to all the trouble of waiting to meet you at the gate. Oh, Iris! Sorry. But listen to this. I played a heck of a joke on these two. Oh, pray tell. I disguised myself as a bailiff and snuck into the lobby. These two didn't even notice me. What do you think of that, Iris? I guess it was probably unavoidable. Huh? You don't have as much of a presence as you think you do, Homesy. Personally, I'd work on that more if I were you. Right, I will. That was harsh. Anyway, I'm a little disappointed. I really wanted to have a party for you tonight, Jeannie. But I guess there's no way you'd be able to make it, huh? Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to come home for a while. I mean, I committed some crimes, right? So I've got to do my time for those. Breaking and entering, trying to make off with that guy's pawn items, was it? What about the whole pickpocket deal? Ah, that's not a crime. It's my job. Don't worry about that. You've got to be kidding me. But you know what I thought during the trial today? I thought, I can't go on being a pickpocket. You probably thought the same thing when you became a defense attorney, Naruhodō. Well, I was never a pickpocket, though. I'll show you that I can change. And I'll make a place where the children on the streets can live properly. Yeah, I'm sure you could do it, Jeannie. What is it? No, it's nothing. Oh, Gina Lestrade! The paddy wagon has arrived at the back gate. Prepare yourself. We're heading out. Well, I'll be going now. Yeah. See you, Gina-san. Naruhodō. Yeah, Gina-san? What? You know, at this point I would have been running. Run, damn it! Okay, I guess not. What was that for? Oh, I don't know. I never know what to say at times like this. Oh. Perhaps. You never had an opportunity to use these words. What? At times like this. I recommend saying a simple thank you.
Yeah, I think so too.
I see. New one? Oh. Thank you, Naruhodō. Oh! For believing in me until the very end. Gina-san is best girl. Susato is also best girl. All the girls are good in this. No, I'm the one who should be saying thank you. Thanks, Gina-san. Oh, she's so precious. You be a good girl now, alright, Gina? Gina-san left. Oh boy, she was chipper till the last moment, wasn't she?
That reminds me. I bought one of the newspapers they were selling outside. It's an extra. It is a huge article about today's trial. Pickpocket girl not guilty and big turnaround. What do you think of that?
If only we could have shown this to Gina-san earlier.
Aw, I didn't even think of that. And I've got good news and bad news.
Again?
Which one do you want to hear first, Naruhodō-kun, Holmesy?
I'd like to start with the bad news. I won't allow anything but good news into these ears of mine.
I guess this really is a matter of personality, huh?
I wish you'd just leave it alone.
Well, let's see. In that case, let's start with the good news then, okay? It stopped raining earlier. Apparently, it was a record-making heavy rain.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It'll make hitting home easier. So then, what's the bad news?
Thanks to the heavy rain today, the seas are really rough. It was so bad over at Dover Harbor that all ship departures are delayed by half a day or more.
Dover Harbor?
That's right. If we head for London Station right now, we might be able to see Susato-chan off.
How's that bad news? But we don't even know if there'll be such a conveniently timed train. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodō? Home-san? Earlier, I managed to negotiate a private train at London Station. If we race over there right now, we might even have time for dinner. I know an inn that serves outstanding soleil poulet. I should have expected as much from a famous detective. Yeah, you really should have. You see, I happen to have my hands on three or four of the railroad company's weaknesses. When I happened to allude to those, they gladly went ahead with it. I think you should stop manipulating people like that.
Alright, in that case, let's head for London Station right away.
Well, I'm glad we get to see Susato off. April 18th, 5:32 p.m., Dover Harbor Dock. Oh my god, it's already dark. That took longer than expected.
Won't it be time for Susato-chan's ship to be leaving soon?
Susato-san. There she is, over there. It looks like she's reading. Reading? That's a... How did... What? Wait, Susato-san! What are you doing? That's a big book, and that's supposed to fit in her tiny hand, right?
Naruhodō-sama, what are you doing here?
We came running as soon as the trial was over. We heard that the ships were delayed because of the rain.
Is that so? Then what happened to Gina-sama?
Yes, we got a not guilty verdict.
Good. I'm so glad.
Why is the music so good in this game? That book you were about to toss into the ocean. It was the British jurisprudence, wasn't it?
Oh, you saw that? I'm not fit to deal with the law, so I thought it was time I bid it farewell for good.
You're throwing away law? You, Susato-san? Could it be? Because of that small window, Miss Susato.
For me to tamper with the crime scene and then try to keep it a secret. It was completely unforgivable. Come to think of it, what were you doing with this, Susato-chan? On the night of the murder, we invited Gina-sama to have dinner with all of us. Yep, it was so much fun, wasn't it? After dinner, Gina-sama gave us some basic lessons. She taught everyone how to pick pockets.
Excuse me, I have something stuck in my throat. Ugh.
Yep, I managed to swipe Naruhodō-kun's armband.
I wish you wouldn't have. This thing's pretty important. Yet you couldn't tell it was missing.
You didn't even notice. I slipped that into my sleeve, just for fun that night. Ah! Then I went to Hatch-sama's shop with it still in there.
Really?
And then... Ah! Home-sama! Home-sama!
Don't worry about me, Mr. Naruhodō. I like how it said Susato, even though Sherlock was calling... Okay, whatever. Right! Pretty sure originally that was Naruhodō that said home-sama, but the text says it was Susato screaming.
You left, and I started wondering about that door.
The storeroom door, you mean?
If Gina-sama were in the shop somewhere, it could only be behind that door. Thinking that, I suddenly remembered this device that I slipped into my sleeve. I was worried about Gina-sama, so I had to check on her no matter what.
And that's why you used that thing to make the small window, right?
The small window you made was shown clearly in the photo, see? The photo taken by the automatic crime recording apparatus.
Yeah, that ended up being an incredibly important point. When was that small window made? That information was wielded like a weapon. We needed something that would leave a record of the truth.
And on the other side of that door was an even more frightening scene than I ever could have imagined. That's when I suddenly remembered the trial from 2 months ago.
Kazi manga dolls, right?
The criminal had manipulated the crime scene and forced the witness to give false testimony. I felt as though I'd been shown the dark side of Great Britain's court system. And I had a terrifying thought. What if some villain tried to manipulate things again, in the exact same way this time too? The situation at the crime scene made it look as though Gina-sama was the one who had shot Hatch-sama. But I knew there was no way Gina-sama would ever do such a thing.
But the real killer might try to pin the crime on Gina-san.
Yes, thinking that, it suddenly occurred to me. These circumstances, might it be difficult to make up a false eyewitness testimony?
Eh?
Think about it. The murder occurred behind a locked door. In order to make up a false eyewitness testimony, they would need some sort of small window.
Oh. Quite! The window that was made in that door ended up being quite convenient.
Of course, it was made after the murder had occurred. If the killer had known that, it would have been pointless, but...
There was a chance he might end up being caught in your trap. And that's why you did it. Trap. So that's why she made the window.
So, that's why you kept it a secret, Susato-chan. You didn't even tell the police about that window you made. Naturally, I knew it was a crime. That's why I left the device with Home-sama. If you found yourself driven into a corner, until the very last moment, Naruhodō-sama, I thought that maybe you could use it to make your big turnaround.
Susato-san, you were thinking about that? But in that case, couldn't you have at least talked it over with me? What are you talking about? If she'd done that, you'd have become a conspirator, would you not? Eh? If you had anything to do with tampering the crime scene, you would have risked dismissal as a defense attorney. That's why Miss Susato kept that information from you. For your sake, Mr. Naruhodo, and Miss Gina's as well. Damn, girl. Can I give you a hug? Susato-san.
At that moment, I couldn't help doubting the law just a little bit.
Eh?
I thought that the proper person might not be brought to justice. The second I allowed myself to think that, I failed as a legal aid.
What you did, Susato-san, was completely different from what they did. The one who used that window to make up a lie was Cloudgry. And if it hadn't been for the contradiction created by that window, I might not have been able to get Gina-san declared not guilty in that trial. You saved Gina-san.
Hearing you say that makes me feel as though I'm the one who's been saved.
You do. Just hug each other. Anyway, I'm glad Miss Gina was found not guilty. Yes, but even so, there's some things we never did end up finding out.
But to think that music box had communication records engraved on it. Leave it to you to figure that out, Naruhodo-sama. That was quite admirable.
No, not even that was confirmed in the end.
Really?
One of the jurors was a telegraph operator, but it was mostly meaningless noise. That's what she said. Well, it was top secret communication information after all. It might have been a code just in case it was stolen. Code? I guess that doesn't sound like it would be easy to understand then, does it? Well, I think someone with a lot of time on their hands should give that some thought.
So? Gi?
What?
That's what it said. What a funny word. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Iris-sama, what did you just say? I said Asogi. Does that mean something to you?
Does it mean something? Asogi was the name of my best friend.
Ah?
What? Why are we talking about Asogi?
How did you know that name, Iris-sama? Here. I wrote down the code that was played in court earlier.
After only hearing it once, this girl's amazing.
I wonder if it might be some sort of code. So I tried a few things, but I couldn't come up with anything that made sense. At least, not in English. Oh. Then I remembered. The Morse code isn't used only for English. It can be used for any language in the world.
What? Then what if...
I saw the signal key for Japan's code just once. You call it Iroha, right?
So then, that telegram had Asogi's name in it.
Yeah, I think. I don't remember all of the code, though.
Iris-sama, could you show me that for a moment, please? Susato-san, can you understand Japanese Morse code? Yes, I've studied it. Okay, Deus Machina!
I thought it might be good to know how to communicate with the world in the future.
If you want to communicate with the world, I feel like you might have been better off learning the English code. Anyway, Iris-sama, let me see that code, please.
Right.
What could this mean? As her eyes race over this meaningless-looking code, Susato's face gets paler and paler. You were right. This communications record seems to be in Japanese code. So then, Great Britain was communicating in Japanese? I'm not sure, but there's a line of letters here that we can assume to spell out people's names. There are 4 of them. 4 names. The first one is Kei Asogi. Asogi Kazuma. What's his name doing on here? The second is Satsushia. Satsushia? The second is Satsushia. Maybe it's, I don't know, man. Maybe it's Sasha? I've never heard that name. The third one is T. Gregson. Gregson? Tobias Gregson. Surely it refers to him. What's that detective's name doing in this top-secret correspondence? And the last name is... What is it, Susato-san? It's just... I didn't expect to see this name on here.
Who is it? Who is it? Hurry up and tell us, Susato-chan.
The last name is J. Watson.
Huh?
Watson?
John H. Watson. That's my papa's name.
All it says is J. Watson, so we can't be completely certain, but... After those 4 names, it goes on to say the aforementioned 4 people. That's where the code Iris-sama jotted down ends. Who would have ever thought that that disc contained Japanese Morse code? That information was about that baffling combination of names. It seems that this top-secret correspondence was transmitted between Great Britain and Japan.
Then my papa might be in your country. Well... But I guess that would be a little too convenient, wouldn't it? The world is overflowing with J. Watsons, after all.
The medical department professor at Yuma University, John H. Watson. There's no way I can mention him here. We solved the case in the trial today, but I feel like we've only just opened the door to a vast darkness. Perhaps that's a darkness we ought not to peer into. Too bad DGS2 happened. Oh no, it's time to say goodbye. Of course. Man, I remember when I got to this point before DGS2 came out, I was with the rest of the crew just like, what is the meaning of everything?
It seems that the ship is about to depart.
I think you're right.
The steamship will be headed for Dirkert Harbor in France. I'll change there to a large passenger liner and head for Japan. You're really leaving, huh, Susato-chan?
I pray for your safe voyage, Mr. Sato.
Thank you very much, everyone. Please take care of yourselves.
Susato-san, I wanted you to stay with me and keep helping me forever.
Naruhodō-sama.
Please, come back to us. You'll always be the best legal aid in the world to me. God damn it, you two! Get a room and kiss!
Yes! Yes, I'll definitely be back. Really, Susato-chan? After all, I still haven't fulfilled the promise I made to you either, Iris-chan. Promise?
About the manuscript.
Ah.
The Hound of the Baskervilles, huh?
I'll be waiting for you, Susato-chan. You promised, alright?
Yes, Iris-sama.
Naruhodō-sama.
Yes?
Do you remember the first time we met?
Yes, of course. I'd been dragged out of the closet on the RFS Alacre and was sent flying across the room with a Susato toss.
Honestly, I meant after that. I meant when we were working together on that case. I felt this strange conviction that you'd be the one to carry on Kazuma-sama's wishes.
Susato-san.
It seems that my premonition was not mistaken. Surely. No, I'm certain. I'll return to you again. Until then, take care of yourself.
Cutscene? Cutscene.
これでなるほど龍之介最初の冒険の物語はおしまいだ。思えば不思議な運命に導かれてここまで来たような気がする。僕は弁護士になって異国の街で名探偵と出会った。これからもきっと様々な困難が僕を待ち受けているのだろう。でもどんな危機だって大逆転できる、そんな気がする。だって僕には世界最高の仲間がいるのだから。
Actually, I have somewhat fortunate I went over one. That reminds me, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Actually, I have some somewhat unfortunate news. It seems that after the chartered train incident, the railroad company intends to sue.
It made quite a mess. Other trains were stuck waiting at the station and such.
Well, if I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have made it in time. And so I told them it was all your fault. Oh my god. Eh? The legal brief from the railroad company will likely arrive at your place sometime tomorrow. but I'm sure you'll be fine. After all, according to Mr. Sato...
You love defending yourself.
Huh?
It'll be fine. I'll testify for you, okay? You didn't look like the type who'd do something so outrageous. That's what I'll say.
Home-san? Oh, what is it? May I say just one thing? Yes, of course! Go ahead and shout it at the top of your lungs!
I love it when you say this, Naruhodō-kun.
In that case, excuse me. Igiari! Ayo, we're done! Although I have to read some more dialogue, then I'll talk more. We're done though! Post-credit, everyone, how they're doing things. Stuff now. Credits that I can't read because kanji. I have to read really fast too. In the end, a mountain of music boxes from all over Europe showed up here. I wonder what's going on, but apparently I ordered them myself. I tried sending an ad to the newspaper saying, used by Mr. Holmes to solve a case. I figured they sell like hotcakes. It was ridiculous for me to spend so long agonizing over it. Sherlock! I can't even. I'm so done with him. I'm so done.
Tomorrow's my deadline, so I didn't sleep at all last night. When this happens, Holmesy makes breakfast for me, but it's always sand like toast and mud like coffee. I miss the Japanese breakfast that Susato-chan used to make.
Oh, I'm surprised she managed to find ingredients to make Japanese-style dishes.
Witness, your testimony is completely contradictory.
Damn straight, there's no way my gold coin hid itself under the stake. Regardless, Kuromaru knows I'm innocent. I wish you'd leave the court out of this argument if at all possible. I've been undercover on the steamship since escorting the Russian dancer to Shanghai. This evening, I arrested an incredibly suspicious Japanese man, though, so I'll be escorting him back to Japan. All that happened was that one of Wagahai's kittens snuck in my pocket! Being treated like a serious criminal just for sneaking a small animal on board is obscene! Oh, so Seki. Wagahai had kittens, though. Scientific investigation will become the trademark of the police in this approaching new century. I dream of a world where everything is governed by logic and order. Yes, just like a massive clock with more than 100 tiny pieces all work together flawlessly. Pardon me. It seems that I have only 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next meeting. I meant to make an appearance in this month's issue of the Strand magazine. I said one of the lines in the novel on the way to the pub and everyone burst out into thunderous applause. Not bad. For an amateur, I said. I can't say a word against a young lady.
Yes, recently I've been going to visit Joan every day. Going up and down 3 flights of stairs all the time made my leg like new again. Lately I've been picking up the skills I need to become my own maid. I doubt anyone in the neighborhood has any idea that I'm the master and the maid all rolled into one.
Alright, Joan. You do you. Or John, excuse me, not Joan. Joan is the wife.
My again, and it's all thanks to that Grim Reaper. I've really been looking forward to picking up change along my beat again. It's my duty to protect the citizens of London and their change, and to make my wife happy. Oh, Lola. Oh, Pat.
Lovey-doveys. Looks like I'll be stuck here for a while. Iris comes to visit every day, though, so I don't get bored. All Iris ever wants to talk about is all the great stuff Home's done. But I've started thinking maybe criminal investigation might sound kind of fun. Spoilers, Gina does become a detective in the next one. I mean, there were all the promotional arts about it, so can confirm she does become a detective. In training. I threw away my past and chose the path to evil. I have no regrets about that choice.
Quit trying to show off! It's not like you, Rubart!
I reckon it's the time we resurrected Mirvatin Temporary Company.
We're together again, just like in the good old days! Templar!
I'm very happy they actually showed them. Like, they usually don't have the villains talk at all in these post credits. That's interesting. I think that's a first, actually. Oh, Susanoo! I'll never forget what's happened over the course of this half year. I've come to realize that life is made up of a collection of fated partings and meetings. Naruhodō-sama, someday I will definitely return. So for now, I leave you with these memories. Farewell, until we meet again. Breaks my heart! Ah! Such a good game. It's so down to earth and heartwarming, and I love it. Look at this! I have that picture in real life. It's actually sitting in the Sherlock Holmes tin box that I got from the collector's edition. I think that's it for talking dialogue, so now I can actually talk about the game, right? What a good game! Okay, look, it's not a perfect game. I will say that. It's I'd say it's like, it doesn't have the wackiness of the main series, but it's fine because it's rooted more into history than it is in a fictional Japanifornia setting where, you know, you can get away with the wackiness, especially during the modern time. There's a lot more wackiness going on, but this one is just quiet, and it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. It's sometimes, you know, sometimes you just need more subtlety in your games to tell a story. And I think it did pretty well. I think Case 5 dragged on way too long for what it is, but overall, I enjoyed the game, like, from the beginning to the end. Even Case 4. I know a lot of people flack for Case 4 because it's, like, not, like, as interesting as the other ones, but I like that we got into the daily life of London with it. You know, it was nice. It was different. It was, you know, a little break from what happened in Case 3, which was pretty damn intense. And, I feel like Case 4 is probably a little bit stronger now because of Case 2 in DGS 2 now, because Case 2 in DGS 2 actually happens after Case 4 in DGS 1. Keep that straight in your head. So I think Case 4 is probably going to be a little bit stronger now because of it. But it is definitely probably the weaker of the 5 cases in this game. Byasogi! This is mean! That is so mean! Anyway, I'm sorry. That's just mean. I think, I just love every bit of this game. this game makes me care about the characters in this game that you're introduced to. There's life in this. It's wonderful. It makes me very happy. It's not a perfect Ace Attorney game, no. It's not the best game, I don't think. But I think in the current, like, the batch that we have right now, DD, like, Dual Destiny, Spirit of Justice, DGS1, DGS2, I find the DGS series a lot stronger. I feel like they show more, they play with a lot of different concepts. They expand on things that already exist in mechanics and such, and I think they did a good job with it. I will agree that there were a lot of open-ended stuff towards the end, and I believe that was really the biggest complaint about this game, was that it was really open-ended. There were a lot of things that didn't end up being solved, which, I mean, I wasn't bothered by it as much as I should have been, like with everyone else, mostly because I knew Takumi said that he wanted to make it into a series. And, I haven't played through DGS2, but I know what happens in it. I feel like DGS1 and DGS2 is actually really just one big game that Takumi just couldn't fit into one game because of the way DGS2 ends up playing out. And, you know, it's fine. I wish people could understand that it's okay to, like, have stuff not completed. Like, you have the main stuff done. Now you have some stuff left over to look forward to. That's how I see those kind of things. So, especially when I knew that he wanted to make a series out of it. So, the whole open-ended and stuff not being solved, that didn't bother me. You know, that's just something to look forward to. That's something to sit down and speculate while we're waiting for the next game. You know, and it makes me sad that both this one and DGS2 just didn't have the pull that I feel like it should have gotten, you know, because the main series, I'm sorry, I don't like the direction that it's going. It's not my cup of tea. I know some people might like how they are, but for me, I'm not feeling it with them. They have some good points, but the problem is there are a lot of bad points. Like, there are a lot of high highs, but they have their low lows, and there's nothing in between. That's how I feel with the main series. So, I feel like where DGS is going, I want them, if DGS never continues after DGS2, fine. I want them to use some of the ideas that were implemented in the main series. I want to care about the characters, like how I cared so much about these. I'm invested with these characters. I want to know what happens to them. I want them to be okay, you know? I don't feel the same way with the main series. And that's what I think is missing. So, that's my thoughts on this game. It's a wonderful game, and I thank all of you for staying for as long as you have to through this entire adventure. So, thank you again. Subscribe, likes, comments, if whatever else you want me to improve on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully for DGS2 in the future.